Good evening.
OCM. Thank you, Your Worship, Mayor Robertson, and respected councilors. My name is David Wong. Wong Mayor Hai Wong, 18. That's my Cantonese name for Wong, Sea to Sky. My family has been in Vancouver, North America for many generations, since the 1800s. I feel that we have a connection to the city. And I'd like to speak as what I do as a professional, which is an architect. I'm also pleased to inform that I used to work for the city of Vancouver here and in the planning department. So I'd like to lend some of my experience into my little dissertation here. One of the things I want to speak about is sustainability. We all talk about sustainability, environmental sustainability. Seems to be the only one we all are all familiar with. We're missing out on a really important one. That's social sustainability. We don't hear anything much about social sustainability. This is what has occurred now in the last couple of decades. When we talk about Vancouver's Chinatown, other areas in the downtown east side, for example, we never hear anything about social impact assessments. What happens to the people who are vulnerable and who are being displaced? I look at the report that's generated by our planning department. Nowhere on the entire document is there any talk about what happens to the people. This is the number one thing that's been missing in this entire effort. So we can talk about a city being sustainable, but we actually have missed the mark. That's my first point. And I can back this up by referring to a Vancouver Sun news article from, I think, November 2013, where reporter John Mackey had interviewed a senior city planner about what happens to the displacement of the 900 plus seniors living in Chinatown. The response from the senior official was that, well, these folks don't contribute to the economic revitalization of Chinatown. So that sort of seems to underscore the city. And that's why I'm standing here today, because I am a bit perturbed that none of this has ever come to the surface. About 10 years ago, I tried to make an effort, and I stood here in front of council and said, we have assets here in the city, retired planners, retired civil servants, who are willing to come in here and help mentor the staff. Because we're right now in a very interesting point in our city's history. There's a lot of money, a lot of global capital coming in, and at the same time, there's been a lot of retirements from the city. And a lot of development, a lot of demand. All these things are happening at this nexus of our city, and there's no real plan for it. And what we have today is the outcome of, I would call, unforeseen planning. And we need to address this immediately. I won't talk as an architect, but I'll talk more as how I experienced in the planning department when we had the same difficult situation. We had to go back to the zoning bylaw and to look at what the guiding policies are. And from the policies, we look at the elements that help build the framework. And right here, in black and white, very clear in HA1 and HA1A zoning district, it says, and I quote, "The intent of the schedule is to encourage the preservation and rehabilitation of the significant early buildings of Chinatown while recognizing the evolving activities that make this district an asset." So we have an asset over here, but we've done little to actually protect it. And it's not too late. And I can go on and talk about all these things. But from the developer's perspective, he's not doing anything wrong. He's doing what he's allowed to do. But I do have an issue of the rezoning application itself. If you look at HA1, it's to protect the historic district more or less around Penrith Street. And HA1A was sort of the area outside it. So we gave the HA1A area a little bit of a lift, a little higher density, from 75 feet in HA1 to 90 feet. And I can't believe my eyes when I read the guy's asking for 115 feet. We're already given a nice lift already. So why are we even entertaining this rezoning application.
And
Well, I've got a lot more to say, but
Mr.
I
Dunn, you
just
have
wanna-
questions too.
yes.